Hello students, today we are going to study about political science, chapter number 2, Federalism, part 1. In this we are going to study about the different aspects related to federalism, such as what is federalism, what are the features of federalism, what are the objectives of federalism, what are the two roots of federalism, and finally we'll discuss the threefold legislative distribution of legislative powers between the center and the state government. Now, to begin with, what is federalism? Federalism is a system of government in which power is divided between a central authority and its various constituent units. Usually, federation has two levels of government, children. One is the government for the entire country, that is usually responsible for subjects of common national interest. In different countries, children, this is known by different names like union government, national government, central government, etc. The others are government at the level of provinces and states that look after the day-to-day administration of their state. Both these levels of governments enjoy their power independent of the other. Now let us look at the key features of federalism. There are two or more levels of government. Usually there are two or more levels of government. In India we have center, state and local government. Each level has its own power and jurisdiction in matters of legislation, taxation, and administration. The jurisdiction of the respective levels or tiers of the government are clearly specified in the Constitution, so that the existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. The fundamental provisions of the Constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of government, and any such changes require the consent of both the levels of government. Courts have the power to interpret the Constitution and the powers of the different levels of government. The highest court acts as an umpire if dispute arises between different levels of government in the exercise of their respective powers. Sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. Autonomy means financial independence or financial freedom. Now we come to the objectives of federalism. What is the objective behind implementation of federalism? Firstly, to safeguard and promote the unity of the country. That is a very important aspect of federalism, and to accommodate regional diversity. We had done in chapter number 1 of the political science textbook, power sharing chapter, an example which you all are aware of Belgium. In that we had seen that how the Belgian government had amended their constitution in order to accommodate the different communities and the different groups in the country. So one of the most important features of federalism is to accommodate the regional diversity in the country. Now we will discuss the two kinds of roots of federations. The first route involves independent states coming together on their own to form a bigger unit. They increase their security by pooling their sovereignty and retaining their identity. That is, they come together as one unit, but at the same time they maintain their identity, they retain their identity. And In this first category of federation, all the constituent states have usually equal powers and are strong vis-a-vis the federal government. This is practiced in USA, Switzerland, and Australia. Now coming to the second route, which is known as holding together federation. Here, a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. In this category, the central government tends to be more powerful vis-a-vis, that is, in relation to the state government. Very often, different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. This is practiced in countries like India, Spain, and Belgium. Now, on your screen, you can see the three countries and the maps of those three countries which follow holding together federation. That is the second type of federation: India, Spain, and Belgium. On your screen are the maps representing countries following the coming together federation, or the first route of federations, that is coming together. We have United States of America, Australia, and Switzerland. Now we'll discuss the three lists of the Constitution. The Constitution clearly provided a threefold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. Thus, it contains three lists. First list, which we all will discuss, it is called the Union List, and it includes subjects of national importance. These are defense, foreign affairs, banking, communications, and currency. The union government alone can make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the Union List. The second list, it contains subjects of state and local importance, such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. The state government alone can make laws relating to subjects mentioned in the state list. Third list, the concurrent list. It includes subjects of common interest of both the union government as well as the state government, such as education, forest, trade union, marriage, adoption, and succession. Both the union as well as state governments can make laws on the subject mentioned in this list. If their laws conflict with each other, the laws made by the union government will prevail, children. Then, there are certain subjects. On your screen, we have a tabular description of the three lists. That is union, state, and concurrent. And this is just a tabular description of what we did in the previous slide. There are certain subjects which do not fall under any of the three lists. And such subjects, the union government has the power to make laws. Example, computer software. And these subjects, which are not part of any of the three lists, that is the union list, the state, and the concurrent list, are part of the remaining category of subjects which are called residuary subjects. Thank you. This is the end of part 1, and we'll discuss the next part of this chapter in part 2 or module 2 of federalism. Thank you for watching.